Welcome to this edition of the Grand American Whiskey Cookers. We are doing a follow-up tasting, and today we're going to be tasting a whiskey from Quincy Street Distillers. But before we do that, I've got some friends of the show and Patreon supporters who are here joining us. They've been invited because they're Patreon supporters, so I'm going to introduce them to you so you have an idea of just exactly who they are. We'll start to my left. Thad King, correct?
Yep.
And what proof do you kind of angle towards?
I'm typically the lower proof, the 80 to about 110. I definitely like the Irish and the Canadian the best.
Okay. Rob Bauer?
I don't subscribe to a proof, but I basically, if you come over and drink at my place, you're just going to have a very eclectic variety to choose from.
Fair enough. And Mo?
I thought we were drinking wine.
Don't put the lid on it again.
No, I tend to like.
You're right. I shouldn't be.
Don't put the lid on.
Don't
I
put
like
the lid
the,
on.
I like the
As
lower.
Freddie Johnson says, whiskey's supposed to be shared, so you leave the cork off because we're going to share. Mike Olinger.
I'm back. You can call me Mo. Rhymes with the O. Oh,
Right.
I like the 80 to 100. I think that's nice. I like the kind of low, smooth, easy approach. Definitely the fruity stuff is awesome.
Okay, so what we're trying, thank you for sharing that. What we're trying is North American Steamship Rye. So this is from Quincy Street. This is a rye whiskey that we're going to try. Now, this whiskey in Quincy Street Distillery, just to kind of give you a little bit of background, he makes turn of the century whiskey. So this is the type of whiskey that you would have had around the turn of the century. All of his whiskeys are named after historical events or historical artifacts from that time. Going to Quincy Street is a really interesting deal because Derek Mancini, the owner, is like a history encyclopedia for the area.
Nice.
Okay, so what are we getting on the nose? What are you picking up? Yes, no?
It's interesting for a rye. I generally expect something that's a little more harsh to the smell.
Okay.
Generally, this doesn't. This is really gentle. I
Gentle.
like it. It's a light smell actually to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very light, and I'm having a hard time picking up some of the notes.
Same here.
So what would you guess the proof on this?
Just by smelling it, it'd be a low proof.
Okay.
I wouldn't even put it at 100.
I'd say like an 85.
Yeah. This is 100 proof.
Never would have guessed that.
Okay.
100 proof is where this comes in. And if I'm not mistaken, it is also bottled and bond, which means it's at least 4 years old.
Yeah.
Right? Made single distillery, right? Single season, and it's at 100 proof. And you're saying it's light on the nose, right, Mo?
It is. The oak is there, which sometimes can be heavy, but it's not. It's there.
But it's not
it's-
overpowering to you.
No, it's right on, but it's gentle.
Correct.
Gentle's a word I keep going to. It's weird, but that's what I'm getting.
If that's how it's hitting you?
I think gentle is an okay descriptor of that. It's like, usually when I stick my nose in a glass like this, I get a little bit more of a sharpness on the nose, I
Sure.
guess. And this, it's, knowing that it's 100 proof, I'm surprised because it
a
really
good
is
way?
not, yeah, in a good way. Absolutely.
And what about the palate? Where are you at on the palate? I like the nose on this. I mean, like you said, it's very gentle, very easy on the nose.
Yeah. There's a floral hint to it in the back with just like a little cherry.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting.
Yes.
Bright
Yeah.
cherry
Yeah.
or dark cherry?
A lighter cherry.
Okay.
Just it's real faint. It's very smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, the cherry hit me right away. There is a floral to it.
Yeah.
So when you say floral, are you meaning like a bouquet of flowers, like dandelions? Are you meaning like sunflowers? Or are you just meaning kind of like when you walk into a flower shop, that floral scent that hits you?
This has FTD written all over it. I mean, no. So
Okay, I'll buy
stick
it.
with me. No, you walk in and you go, wow, there's so much going on there. But then you'll always pick up on one specific scent.
Right.
And so it hits me floral, but then I go right to the cherry.
Okay.
And it is that lighter cherry. It's not a dark cherry.
And now I'm getting just a tiny hint of citrus, just a tiny little like a
And that's the
orange.
rye.
Yeah.
That's that rye spice that's coming through.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I think I'm getting some cherry. I would agree with that. I don't drink a lot of oaked anything. Like typically if I'm drinking a wine or something like that, I actually stay away from the oaked stuff. But I can understand what it does also for a bourbon or a rye or something like that.
Do you
And
get the oak out of this?
a little bit.
Okay.
But it's not overpowering like I guess wines that I've had or like maybe a select other
Yeah.
bourbons or something like that. So
Mo, you were going to say something?
Yeah, it's just interesting, that the burn is there. So 100 proof, yeah.
Yep.
Now I get it. But man, up front, it's just not there. It kind of comes up and it just stands there.
It just lingers.
It does. It all lingers. You're right.
And this is that. So this is kind of that turn of the century rye. And so the way he makes it, and what he goes for is, what would they be drinking and how would they be drinking it during that time? So it's not, he's not aging it for 8, 9, 10, 12 years. He's not doing a lot of different finishes to, at least to this one. Now he's got a lot of different whiskeys and a lot of different stuff. Matter of fact, Derek's a scientist. So he's got probably 30 different types of spirits in his shop. And he's making stuff all the time, which is really kind of cool. And talking to Derek, it's like a walk through history
Really?
with him. So you ask him one question, and Derek can talk for 20 minutes.
I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah, nobody, right?
No.
Nobody at
all.
this table.
Nobody at this table.
No.
Guilty. So before we finish on this, there's a couple other things. So I want to know, would you keep it on your bar? Again, this is 100 proof rye. And this is a really small craft distiller. They're only distributed in Illinois at this point in time. And it's a very limited distribution.
I'll say up front, I am generally not a big rye guy. But that's probably the first rye I've really enjoyed. And the gentle thing up front, really unique. I'd put it on my bar. I think it's good.
Okay. Rob?
Really, the only other rye that I feel somewhat familiar with is, of course, like Templeton rye. I feel like that's a pretty popular mainstream rye that a lot of people gravitate towards. This one does not feel as intense of a flavor as that, if that makes sense. Like,
So you're
this
not
one's
getting that
more...
heavy
Good call.
Spearmint, mint, and cinnamon bite that a lot of ryes give you, right?
This one is, it's got a lot of depth, I would say,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
makes perfect sense.
not like you take a sip and you're like, oh, I'm tasting this and this.
Okay.
But like, you can't really pin down exactly everything you're tasting. At least for me, I can't.
Yep.
It doesn't have that Darth Vader grip that a rye does a lot of times, you know?
Exactly. It's a nice, smoother rye
No,
to
this
get
is-
you into the rye.
Right.
This is more
Because
like
I'm the same way. I'm not a big
Latest
rye
drip.
fan.
I
This
think-
is nice and smooth.
So just bouncing off of that, this I think would be a much better first rye to try.
I would agree.
Fair enough. And if you're interested about Templeton and some backstory on Templeton, check out our videos from Iowa Legendary Rye. You can see some pretty interesting history on Templeton. Thad, yes, no?
I'm going to say yes. As far as normally, I've told you before, I'm not a big rye guy.
Right.
This actually, I would definitely put it on the bar for the fact that it would be a great beginner and as well as a mixer. And so that's what I'm looking at, is that it's a great, if you want to have it neat, it's there. If you want to mix it, it's there too.
Yep.
I'm gonna get dirty here and say I'd be interested to see what it's like on the rocks.
Oh,
I know.
We can certainly do that. It might make a whole nother. So
like a
would
card
change
stand?
it.
Filthy,
That would change
but
it.
I'm telling you, I think it
Yeah.
might be really
You add some
interesting.
water to it. So
Yeah.
we're about done. So Mike, you're done with yours, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do something that.
Doing
Yep. So we're gonna try something else from the same distillery.
really?
Okay, but I'm not gonna tell you anything about it.
okay.
All right? And I want you to try it truly blind. I'm going to give you no information on this.
Just Darth Vader. Feels like Darth Vader.
Give me a glass, Mo. And I want to know where you're at with this.
This comes off a little stronger right off the nose.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay?
It's got a little bit more depth, more smokiness, a little bit more oaky.
Okay?
Definitely.
This is from
smoky.
the same place.
Same place, same distillery. Well, like I said, Derek he's got 25, 30 different spirits. You know, vodka, gin. He's got a whole bunch of whiskeys. You can taste whiskey at Derek's distillery, at Quincy Street Distillery in Riverside, Illinois. You can taste through like several decades of whiskey because he's making it as it was made back in the day. You know, when I say back in the day, turn of the century, like 1870, 1890, 1900, 1910.
You got it too?
What's going on here?
It's that rye.
So what are you getting?
To me, it's got that pop of that rye right at the tip of your tongue.
Okay. We got a fly who's just dive by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Yet the aroma up front is still light. It's not as floral.
Okay.
It's
But
stronger.
But it's not that come up and kind of whap slap you. But the flavor has more of that upfront flat rye flavor.
Yeah.
but again, it's good stuff.
You know, on the nose, I thought this was gonna burn my whole mouth. But the second you try it, you're like, wait a minute. No, my nose has lied to me. It's not gonna burn. It's very smooth, right?
Spot on. You're right.
And like, that's the first thing I noticed. Like, regardless of being able to identify a bourbon from a rye, like, it seems like it's gonna not be as good.
And this one's where I'm picking up that little bit of that peat flavor.
Okay.
Just a little bit on that tongue. Just that little tiny little
Just
bit.
a touch, right?
Just a touch.
Like a hint?
Yep, just a hint.
Okay.
And that is basically, as I breathe it and smell it, it's just a tiny faint hint there that doesn't turn me off on it.
All right.
But it's nice.
So on the nose, yes or no?
I would say yes. I like it. It's something different. It's out of my comfort zone.
This is cool. Mike, Mo, where you at?
Good on the nose. The taste, still too much of a rye for me. I'd go with the first one first. It's not bad though.
Okay. Rob?
You know, on the nose, I guess, like if I was, rewind a couple of minutes ago when I was first smelling this, I would have almost passed on it.
Okay.
I would have
on
almost
the nose.
just off of the nose.
Okay, fair enough.
But I know that there are mysteries to be uncovered by tasting it. So
I love the nose.
I just got a tingly when you said that.
So here's the deal. Like I said, wow. Derek Mancini at Quincy Street Distillery makes turn of the century whiskey, and he's making all sorts of different whiskeys. He's got 25, 30 whiskeys, or 25, 30 different spirits.
Yeah.
This is called Bourbon Spring, and there's a historical element there. Check out the video on Bourbon Spring, and check out the videos, and you can see a little bit more about this. But here's the thing that you really need to know about this. This is 4 months old.
What?
4 months. Because his theory on the research that he's done is that at the time, and this is about 1870, 1880-ish, Derek, if I'm wrong on the time frame, I apologize. But his thought, and from the research that he's done, is that by the time that they would have made it and barreled it and had a chance to drink it, it would have been about 4 months old. So that's really what he's going for. Wow. Really? Is a whiskey that's 4 months old. You're saying wow on a 4-month-old whiskey.
I can't get over that.
In the store, if you saw this,
I'd pass.
because it's 4 months old.
Yeah, no way.
Right?
I'd be like, no, it's
now-
immature. Wow.
Wow is right. Mo?
I'm just sitting here on my bar stool acting like a damn fool because that's
It doesn't taste.
no, that's unique.
Rob?
That's a whole different story.
I would say that if I was gonna, first off, yes, all the way on this.
On the
because
Bourbon Spring.
It's just, it's so mind-blowing that it is that good and it is just 4 months old.
Yeah.
4
Like,
months old.
You throw that
Like,
into that
if
equation.
I have a friend who makes wines and has dipped his toes into like distillery
Sure.
stuff. And if he gave me something that he said he was like, this is aged 4 months, 4 long months, I would be like, cool, age it longer. And I'd push it back towards him.
Come back when it's at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes, come back when you're grown up.
So like, you tricked us.
I did trick you.
You tricked
on
us,
purpose.
but I'm
I
glad
tricked
you
them.
did because I think a lot of people, just like you said, they're going to see 4 months and they're just going to be like, hard pass.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink cheap vodka, essentially, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what you expect from 4 months, but like that's insane.
And honestly, I'm preferring this over that.
Over the rye?
Oh, yeah.
The North American rye?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You're preferring the 4 month
Oh, yeah.
bourbon over the 4-year-old
Yeah.
bottled in bond, 100 proof
Yeah.
rye.
That's just me.
I can't do that. That's bastardizing it.
I know.
I gotta go. No.
This
That
is why
hurts
I
my
love
heart, Thad.
craft whiskey.
I'm telling you, going out of my comfort zone, I'm onto this. I enjoyed that more than there.
No. I can
Because of
taste
the
the
different-
diapers on it. I gotta go with the original.
You got to go with the rye.
Yeah.
I think the only hint you actually get that this is 4 months old is on the nose.
Yeah.
That's the only
That's
hint.
the only hint that you're getting.
Yeah, because
Otherwise-
as soon as you taste it, you're like, you're drinking something that's aged a bit longer than that.
I still can't get over
Yeah.
the fact that it's 4 months old and I'm loving it more than 4 years.
Yeah,
4 year?
Oh, yeah.
that's wild.
It throws you for a loop.
It's
doesn't it?
throwing
You need
me-
to send that bottle home with that.
Well, that would
okay.
be a big no. Not unless he's going to leave me something in trade. that's going to do it for us here at the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Proof positive, you have to try whatever you see in the store. Don't just go by the age. Take a shot and try something and let your taste buds experience something that you probably didn't get a chance to experience before. For Thad, Mo, Rob, I'm Jeff Sard. I'm your host for the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Check us out on Patreon, subscribe, like our videos. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, damn it, I'm out of whiskey. Until you be good at it. See ya.